Times they are a-changin'. Grandparents are playing a larger role in raising their grandchildren. And it's not just reminding them to do their homework and brush and floss their teeth before they go to bed. Grandparents are playing a more active role as the parents are taking on more career responsibility. And that includes taking the grandchildren to the dentist. Here to tell us about his adolescent patients is dentist Steve Marsh. So welcome back to the show here, Steve.
Thanks so much, Lori.
Some grandparents, I think, probably actually get to know the doctors of their grandchildren better than the parents do.
Well, sometimes that does happen. You know, sometimes it's after school and grandparents who have retired, that sort of thing, will come and pick up their kids. Sometimes they're the major caregiver because of family changes, that sort of thing. Now we're finding grandparents are playing a much more pivotal role, as you suggested. So we're seeing a lot of grandparents and we're instructing them on kids' care and their own care while they're in the office. But it's really changed the dynamics in our office a little bit.
Yeah, that would be true. Now, children's dental issues, are they any different? Are they things coming from birth? Are they things that they've run into over their short life on Earth? Or is it more sports injuries?
You know what, Lori? It's a combination of things. Sometimes it's a birth issue. Sometimes teeth are missing. Sometimes it's a sports injury. It can be all of those things, and we're seeing all sorts of things like that. And as we enter into the summer, it's even more important in terms of sports injuries. I always think of a young woman 20 years ago who came to me and knocked 2 teeth out playing volleyball. She went for a slam and the teeth came out. We were able to replant them, subsequently change them up. They're still there 20 years later. But women are playing a lot more sports. So for men and women today and kids entering into the summer, and for grandparents who are watching, it's really important to be careful on how they take care of themselves.
Okay, do you have some pictures here to show us?
Lots of them, and I think we'll cover all the issues. So we started with sports injuries, and here's a young man who played high school football and in northeastern Ohio. He actually chipped the tooth. He came to me. At one point, a dentist had actually smoothed it off, and they came to me to say what we could do cosmetically. Because he was 16, we just added some material. That's just bonding material. As he gets older, if he continues to chip it, we may go to a porcelain veneer. But for now, we got a wonderful result, very conservatively. Did that in about 20 minutes, and he went back to school the next day. So you mentioned injuries. This young woman, when she was 11 or 12, fell off a bicycle. And she had worn this thing called the flipper that went in and out for all these years. Now she was 21, finishing nursing school, wanted to go into the workforce and wanted a smile she could be proud of. She actually had an implant. We hear a lot about them today. They're not a panacea. In this case, it worked well. So there was an implant on her right tooth, the viewer's left, and we did some porcelain veneers and some whitening and reshaping. She got a job right away, Lori, and I think her smile may have helped.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So you talked about birth situations. This is a young woman, 14 years old. She had had some bonding done by a dentist because previously when she was born she had these white spots that came in, hypocalcifications. We see a lot of that when kids get their braces off. And quite frankly, she wasn't happy, and in the kindness of the dentist, actually he referred her to me and said, I think you need a little special care in this case. We took off the bonding, we did some reshaping, and then those are porcelain veneers. It's a wonderful result. She actually became a model, tennis player, and that sort of thing, and had a much more confident smile. We talked about birth things. This is called hypocalcification that I just mentioned, but here you actually can see it before any bonding. This man was actually a little older, and he came to me and said, you know, I've lived with this my whole life. I'm married now. He wasn't exactly in his teens, Lori. And so we looked at it and said, what could we do? We took off that white spot that's very easily sanded on, or sanded off rather. We did some veneers and bonding on the laterals. He said it's the first time he's felt confident smiling in so many years. So that's an evidence of somebody who had a birth situation.
And you've got some help for folks about sports situations, right?
Right. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you that it's really important for them to wear these mouth guards. You know, the NBA wears them. We see LeBron wearing them. We see Steph Curry
chewing on his.
Chewing and throwing into the crowd. This is a very easy guard that we can make at the dental office. You can even use it to bleach the teeth afterwards. You can use them. But that's something men and women, boys and girls, everybody should be wearing them in any summer sport. Baseball, tennis, lacrosse, soccer, all those things would do well to have that sports guard with them, all those kids rather.
As we start taking on more responsibilities with the care of our grandchildren, make the right decision and follow Steve's advice. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Call Steve for help. His number's next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com.